Welcome to the Lambton College International Graduate Services and Support Center, your dedicated resource for navigating life after graduation. We know the journey can be complex, from understanding immigration processes to making career decisions and expanding your professional network. That's why we're here, to simplify these challenges and support your transition into Canadian life. At the International Graduate Services and Support Center, our mission extends beyond your academic achievements. We are here to facilitate your successful integration into the Canadian workforce and society. From career counseling to workshops on Canadian workplace culture and immigration support, our services are tailored to meet the unique needs of international graduates. We're committed to empowering you with the tools and knowledge necessary for success. Embrace the opportunity to connect with fellow graduates and professionals through our networking events and stay informed with our comprehensive webinars covering a range of topics crucial for your postgraduate success. Remember, the path to achieving your aspirations is a journey we undertake together. Ready to take the next step? Visit our website and join our supportive community. Remember to follow us on Instagram and on LinkedIn for upcoming immigration webinars, networking events, and much more. Together, let's make your postgraduate journey a success.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Cristina Yiguren, and I'm the coordinator of the International Graduate Services and Support Center. I want to remind you that we are recording this webinar so that you can watch it again later on our YouTube channel. And also, you're going to get the recording shortly. I want to invite you as well to follow us on our social media accounts. There is where you're going to get the most updated information about our upcoming events, especially on Instagram and LinkedIn. You can get information there. We're going to host an immigration event on Thursday, December 19th, morning and afternoon session about immigration. But this webinar is going to be very interesting, and I recommend you to talk to your bosses as well and your employer and join together. If you follow us, you will get a chance to know what's this webinar about. So stay tuned. Also, our YouTube channel, for sure, you can get all our videos there. We have tons of videos on different immigration pathways, so follow us on YouTube and you can get information over there. As you know, this center is dedicated to assisting you, our international graduates, as you seek employment and settle into Canadian life following graduation. Our international graduates from all 4 campuses have access to immigration, career advice, and networking events. Also, there are countless reasons why you can take pride in being a Lambton graduate, as I'm also very proud of working here. We've been ranked as one of Canada's top research colleges, and we're here to support you all the way, even after graduation, with the services I just mentioned to you. Today, we're going to cover a very interesting topic, the PTE core. So as you know, if you're pursuing your permanent residency or your post-graduation work permit, you will need to take an English test. So the options are PTE core, CELPIP, and IELTS. We have covered already CELPIP and IELTS. So again, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch those webinars over there. But today, let's dive into PTE core. And for that, we have an amazing speaker with us. His name is Jesus Gomez. Jesus actually works for Pearson, which is the center in charge of, or the company in charge of creating the PTE core. Jesus is the Regional Development Manager at Pearson's Test of English Canada. He has over 15 years experience, and he has built extensive knowledge of the English assessment industry and has gained significant experience in the international higher education sector. So it's a pleasure to have you with us, Jesus, today. I just want to remind you before we start our webinar, keep your questions in the Q&A, and we will get to your questions after Jesus' presentation. So thank you so much once again, Jesus, and to our graduates for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina, for that introduction. As Christina mentioned, I am Jesus Gomez, and I am the Regional Development Manager for Pearson PTE, and I cover the eastern portion of the country. So I am the PTE representative for from Ontario all the way to the Maritimes, and today I'm going to be talking to you about everything that there is to know in regards to PTE core and why is it relevant when pursuing PGWP PGWP for your English assessment portion. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen.
I have also shared the center's information in the chat, so you can go over there and you will find our Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn channel. And we're going to also send you some information with this recording about the PT. Thanks, Jesus.
Perfect. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Perfect. So as I've mentioned before, today we're going to be talking about PT core and why is it relevant for PGWP, and it is the latest, as it is the latest addition to IRCC approved test for postgraduate work permits. So first of all, PTE core is it is a test that provides a a stress-free, unbiased, practical approach of everyday English. We at Pearson refer as PTE core as the option that is faster, fairer, and simpler, mainly because we have the fastest turnaround time in terms of results. Fair because our marking and scoring system is totally AI assisted, meaning that it removes any room for human error and vice. And our test execution time is shorter than most of the market, as 4 skills are assessed within 2 hours of active testing timing. So in terms of the PTE experience, what we often highlight in terms of PTE and PTE core is that the test is a straightforward, simpler, user-friendly experience as opposed to other options in the market. It is convenient because the test is faster to execute and the results are faster. The PTE core does not depend on a test date or a test session date. It is a 24/7 rollover calendar booking system. What that means is that if you're looking to book a test, you don't have to wait for a specific date on the test session. You simply go into your MyPTE account, and in the closest test center, if there are seats available, you can book the test as fast as 24 hours in advance. So it is accurate and objective because it is entirely computer delivered, computer marked, and the AI engine marks the test, which makes it faster in terms of turnaround and the marking process. And furthermore, the granular scale of the test allows graduates and recognizing organizations to really identify what are the key areas on the relevant skills for which the test taker is being measured. We are trusted all over the world due to our multi-layer security features, and we are working closely with our stakeholders to ensure that they trust our results. So again, when we look at the test experience from the test booking all the way to results, it is a very straightforward process. There is it's you can see the horseshoe here on my on the screen. Candidates can book online by phone. Once the test is booked, the test takers have options to access a portfolio of preparation resources. Some of them are free, included with the booking of the test, and some are opt-ins that you can pay for if you want additional resources for preparation. Then once the test is booked, you have access to the preparation materials. You pretty much take the test, and then once the scores are ready, which is typically within a window of 24 to 48 hours, then you can send the scores directly to the recognizing institutions. In the case of PT Core, through my PTE account, you can forward and transmit the results automatically at the moment of the completion of the test. So when you book the test, you can set IRCC as the recipient, and the second that you receive your scores, the recognizing organization, which is in this case IRCC, will receive on their end as well, as long as you follow the process in the booking system. So in theory, you can go from booking the test to sharing results in less than 72 hours. And just to clarify, because we've had a fair share of test takers coming back at us to and institutions as well, to pretty much identify what is the complete PTE portfolio. So PTE, we have a series of variations of the test, and it's important to understand which test is actually pertinent to the purpose. So for the purpose of this presentations, I've brought the tests that are available in Canada. So the PTE academic is the test for international studies and undergrad and graduate studies. So it is recognized for international studies in Canadian institutions, meaning that if a student or the test taker is anywhere in the world wants to take the test to enroll in a Canadian university, then the PTE academic would be the right choice. Then we have the PTE home, which is specifically relevant to UK migrations and citizenship. And finally, we have the PTE Core, which is the newest member of the portfolio, and it measures general English. And it's important to mention that for IRCC processing, specifically for PGWP, it is the PTE Core, the right test for PGWP applications. And this is a brief summary of where the tests are accepted. PTE Academic is accepted in a wide range of countries and universities all over the world. UKVI, as I mentioned, and PTE Home as well are accepted for UK immigration and settlement. And the PTE Core is the relevant test for PGWP, as it is the one accepted for migration and all work and migration visas by the Canadian government. So now let's take a deep dive onto the test itself and what it entails. So in terms of discriminating PTE Academic and PTE Core, as I mentioned before, in Canada, PTE Academic is accepted by 96% of universities, colleges across the country, and PTE Core is accepted by the Canadian government for migration purposes and citizenship as well. The test is available for booking as we speak. In terms of the test center network, we have over 228 test centers all over the world. And in Canada, I believe our current count is sitting at 28 test centers. And I've pulled up from our search the closest testing centers that we have to Sarnia and Lambton College main campus. We have we have test centers in London, Hamilton, Toronto, and on the other side of the border, closer to Sarnia as well, we have test centers in Detroit and Ann Arbor. The way it works in terms of the test center availability, when the test taker is booking the test, you will have the ability to search the test centers through postal code, and then it will pull the test centers that have available seats nearest to you. We are expanding, we're currently expanding our test center network. So we will definitely keep Lambton College in the loop when we are opening new test centers and starting in 2025, because I do reckon that Sarnia is one of our high demand locations. So once the test booking process is complete, you will have access to a series of resources to prepare for PTE Core. And given the nature of PTE Core as a postgraduate test, the key in terms of successfully negotiating with the test, in our experience, is test takers being familiar with the testing items that they're going to be required during the session, and identifying what are the items and what are the question types that you're going to be asked in order for you to successfully meet your score. So there is a series of resources that are available pre-booking the test. One of them is the PTE Core Test Taker Handbook, which is available on our website, and I will make sure that Christina receives a link to download. In this handbook, there's pretty much a condensed version of everything you need to know about the test, running from the information around the test, preparation, booking information, and all the policies that go around rescheduling, cancellation, ID policy, etc., etc. There's also a specific section on how are you going to share and transmit those scores. So this is a pretty high-level overview, comprehensive descriptor of the test itself. We also have a free practice test where basically you will familiarize with each example of the test items that will be required during the test in terms of the skills. We have the PTE Core Test Tips, which comprehends a tip bank for what are the best practices that you could conduct during the test in key situations and in key items that are being asked in these specific skills. And also we have the question type videos available on our website, PTE Core, where you will have a voiceover explaining exactly what is it that is required from the test taker's end for each of the test items and the question type that you will be receiving. And finally, we have the score guide, which is a comprehensive document that provides an overview of the PTE's scoring sheet and how is the PTE score aligned with the requirements for IRCC's CLB scorings. And then you can also have a glimpse at what is the scoring criteria that you're going to be measured against in each of the specific skills. This particular document is quite relevant, specifically if you are for the PGWP, for you to understand what is the score that is being required for the program, which is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, CLB 7. Christina, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
In the case, I'm sorry, Jesus, in the case of Lambton College, I'm sorry, for every colleges, it's going to be 5.
Oh, CLB 5, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Thank you for that. So again, in this document, there is a grid of equivalency and concordance between the PTE score requirement and the CLB requirement. So it's pretty comprehensive and informative in terms of understanding how the test is marked and scored. So going on to what is the expectation on the test day, after the test has been booked, etc. Specifically, once the test is booked, you will receive all the information of your test center appointment, and we strongly recommend that candidates arrive 30 minutes prior to their appointment starting time. As there's always a briefing by the test administrator, you will have to prove um, you have to produce your proof of ID, which was the one that you booked the test with. Your palm will be scanned as a biometric reference as well, and then you will be taken to the secure monitored computer booth where you will be conducting the test. So these are there are specific rules to test centers which you will receive a physical copy when you are attending the test. However, as an overview, these are the rules that entitle the completion of the test. There's only one attempt for each question, and you can only move forward on the completion of the test. You cannot go back to review any questions. There is a active timer that you can see on your screen at any point, and you are also provided with an erasable whiteboard for taking notes. All of this is taken care of at the test center. So this is a breakdown of the test in terms of timing. And as you can see, all parts of the test are provided with a time range, meaning what is the typical minimum time that it takes for a candidate and up to the most of the time that you can dedicate to a specific part. Speaking and writing, it's up to 67 minutes. Reading is 38 minutes, and listening is 37 minutes, up to 37 minutes. And again, these are the question types that you will be required to, and these are the number of questions that you will be allocated. Again, these are ranged, but in essence, you will be receiving examples of each of those questions types for each section of the test. I won't be going at them one by one. You will be receiving a copy of this presentation as well. However, all of this information is available in the test taker handbook as well that you will be receiving a link to. These are some of the sample questions that you will be required to read out loud, summarizing, repeating sentences, and describing images. So moving on to scoring, as I mentioned before, the PTE core's scoring process is completely automated and it's supported by AI engine assist scoring, meaning that the test items are developed and reviewed by human examiners, and the prompts that the AI engine uses to correct these are randomly pulled and verified by human proctors. In terms of the score report, this is what it looks like. So once the test is completed, this is the results report that you, the test taker, will receive. And this is the same report that is shared with the IRCC department. So as you can see, there are some key elements that must have the score report. It's important to mention that going back to the different PTE test types, all score reports look very similar, but they do have key differences that's important. In the case of PTE core, the band where there's the score report is, as you can see, it's like a mustard yellow. PTE academic is blue, and a PTE home is red. So it's really important that the test reads PTE core, and it is in this mustard yellow. So there's key elements on the score report. You must verify that the information matches your ID, that the score report is valid, and you can see the overall score that reflects an overall level allocated by the markers. And then you have the breakdown in terms of the scores: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The test information is also relevant to depict the validity period of the test and also for score verification purposes on behalf of IRCC. As I mentioned, the PTE scoring scheme goes from 10 to 90 on a granular scale. It is aligned with CLBs, and the scores are available in 2 days after test completion, and they're valid for 2 years. And as you can see, this is the current poll of the CLB equivalents with PTE core on the key skills. CLB5, as you can see here, there's the descriptors in terms of each skills up to 49 in listening, etc. Reading 50 and speaking and writing close to 58 and 59. We encourage all test takers to verify the latest. We believe this is the latest update on IRCC, but this is pulled from their website, and they do change these concordance from time to time. So we encourage you to verify this prior to completing of the test to understand the score. So these are some of the resources that we have available as well on our website. We have a brochure that pretty much entails most of the high-level information that you need to know about booking and executing the test. And you also have the test taker information hand kit, which it's really the relevant information in terms of sharing score and the score equivalency with IRCC. And if there is an option for understanding PTE academic, if you're pursuing graduate studies or anything like that, there is a comparison chart in terms of what each of those tests entail. And also, we have a comparison chart with the other tests available for PGWP, a PTE Core versus IELTS and CELPIP, where you can pretty much assess and have a run through in terms of which test suits better for your needs. So if you believe that PTE Core is the option for your PGWP processing, the registration process is quite easy. It's all managed through a central internal platform called MyPTE, which you can access online. Once your MyPTE account is created, you will receive your login instructions, and from there you can book the test of any components of any variations of the PTE portfolio. It is important to mention that for prior to booking the test, you will be required to have, your ID information and the bullet points that are mentioned on the slide, as your name, date of birth, email, citizenship, and your form of payment. So these are some of the frequently asked questions that we receive. And these are relevant to institutions as well. But I will leave the floor open to any questions you may have.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jesus. So you can drop your questions in the Q&A. I have shared some information as well in the chat regarding IRCC, because PTE Core, you can take it as well for your PR. This is not an immigration webinar, so we're not going to cover that, but you can go to the official website and find information there. You can find it in the chat. So the PTE Core you can also take it for your Express Entry profiles. So check that out as well. And we can go with some questions. You can drop them in the Q&A. It's very interesting how the PTE Core is pretty fast, especially comparing with the other tests, and the booking process as well is pretty awesome. It's fast. There's a question, if someone needs to retake the test, when can they do it? Is there any period of time that they need to wait?
There's no waiting time period for retaking the test. It is important to mention that we do not have a one single component retake. So if there is a requirement for retaking the test, then you would have to take the test in full. But there's no time limit for retaking the test. It is important to mention. It is important to mention that your results also remain valid. Okay, because each test generates a single SRC code, a score report code, meaning like if you take a test and within the same period of validity you take another test, both tests are available. So it's important to keep track of those results. It's not like one replaces the other. They're all in existence within their period of validity. And IRCC verifies all these results.
Okay, amazing. Okay, we have a question here. Hello, can we give the test twice? Okay, that's kind of what we were saying right now. For one skill at the same time, if I didn't meet the expected score.
No, there is no single skill retake. You would have to take the full test again.
All right, yeah, I think that's pretty much in every in all the tests they can take. You can keep dropping your questions in the Q&A. I'm sharing our YouTube channel, Instagram, LinkedIn, so you can follow us and remember we do have other webinars on IELTS and CELPIP. So this is the third one, the PTE core. With this, we complete the circle and you can go through them and you can make the best decision for you. And there is another one, as this webinar from PTE, and we are all students attending this from Lambton. So is there any way we can get some discount code? What do you think, Jesus? Can we get any discounts?
There is a way that we could provide up to a 10% discount, and that's something that we will propose to the department furtherly. But we do have an incentive scheme for graduates, so it is something that we can definitely explore with the department.
Great, thank you, Jesus, for considering that. So we will let you know. And let's see if we have any more questions. We still have time. You can drop your questions there. So
Just
we were looking at the map you showed us, and it's pretty good because we have even test centers close to Sarnia, which is great. If you open a center in Sarnia, it will be amazing. So it doesn't really matter from which campus of Lambton College you graduated, you will have a test center pretty close to your place.
Just like I said, we are looking to expand the test center network, and I know Sarnia is definitely on the radar. But again, we will keep you posted because test centers it's a whole other organization in terms of expansions, but we do keep our partners close. I believe there's some centers that are on the other side of the border, but again, it's really about what is more convenient for the test taker. And just to mention for the reference, the current cost for PTE core in Canada is $325.
All right, you just answered a question.
Okay, there you go.
We have here. So can you repeat it? 300?
$325.
25. All right.
That is our.
Is that plus tax or including taxes?
Include tax included.
All right, perfect. So Juan, there you got your answer. And let's wait just a minute more. Let's see if someone has another question. But again, if you haven't seen our previous webinars on CELPIP and IELTS, go there and you can compare them. We have already all the sources for you, so you can compare and decide which one is the best for you. So I believe we do not have more questions at the moment. So we will conclude the webinar right now. We want to thank Jesus for participating and for all this clear explanation. Thanks to our graduates and future graduates. If you are a future graduate from Lambton College, you're still a student, we want to welcome to our graduate family and congratulations for all the way you've been through. Remember, thanks, Juan. If you need to take the test straight away, this may be a very good opportunity for you. And sorry, I think we have one more question. Oh, someone took a PTE academic 2 years before while coming to Canada. Can I use the same account? It's about the account to book the test now. In that account, they have the address of the home country.
Yes, so the My PTE account, if you're using the same login instructions, you can definitely use the same account. You have the ability to update your contact details within your My PTE account, and once you've updated that, however, you are able to select PTE Core and a test center in Canada to book the test. So there's no need for you to generate a new My PTE account, but it is the same login and the same account which you can book either PTE Academic or PTE Core. What it is important is that you select the right test and the most convenient test center.
Now remember that in this case is the PTE Core, and the question follows like he or she will need to just change the address, right? That will be it, like the same account but change the address. Okay, good.
Yeah, update the address and select the right test, the test variant, and should be ready to book PTE Core.
All right, perfect then. I think that was probably the last question. Anyways, if you go to our channel and you watch and you have more questions later on, we're going to host this webinar at 5:30 p.m. You will just need to register again. And I'm sorry, we have one more. And how can we book for 325 website? They are saying that the website is showing 340 plus tax.
340 plus tax. Let me verify that information and I will get back to you.
All right, perfect. So I will be sending you the recording with the information about the correct price, and you can book it accordingly. All right, so thank you so much, Jesus, and to our graduates for participating. Again, if you have more questions, you can register again and then join to our afternoon session. It's been a pleasure to be with you, Jesus. Thanks for explaining all of this information to us and to our graduates.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina, and thank you everyone for joining. I will be sending you the collateral information that I've mentioned earlier, and we will take it from there.